So episode 2 has officially arrived for Appare-Ranman, and I have to say, I'm loving this show. I thought last week it just had such a great personality. You just immediately wanted to see more of the characters, more of the world, and who doesn't want to see a giant race across the country to basically get a lot of money, and who knows what they would do with that. Of course, you can kind of look at our main character, Appare, and be like, oh yeah, we're going to build a lot of mad inventions, but what about a character who kind of got dragged off and is very scared because not only is he scared to go home because what is going to await him, his fiance's probably already remarried or is going to get remarried, family disowned, but also you want to go back home because that's your home and you at least know what that is, or so you think. So this week's episode, it pretty much gets the ball moving and saying, okay, we're 100% joining this race, but we're also going to start showing you some side characters, some of the other racers, and just other dreams that are in this show, and that's what makes this episode incredibly special. It's very easy for stories to have one or maybe two characters who are flawed and they have these dreams, they have these things that they want to chase after, but logically and realistically, it's not going to work out in their favor. And that can easily feel forced or shoved down your throat, but here we already have three characters who are pretty much going against the norm. You have a character who literally wields a katana in an age where pretty much that is being kind of phased out, but that's his passion, that's his drive. When people are trying to fight him for money, basically placing bets on who would win, he uses a sword where most are just using fists and things like that. You have a character whose literal dream is going to the moon. That's insanity talk at this current point in their society. And then you have a girl who wants to be a racer. She has talent for it, she has the skills for it, but unfortunately this is currently still a time period where the woman is going to be a passenger rather than a driver. So rather than just putting the focus on her or focus on Appare, it's like everyone, pretty much if they're going to be a central character, has a dream they're chasing and a lot of people trying to hold them down. Whether that's a family saying, you know, you're going to get married, you're going to take over the laundry business, that's going to be your future. No, your passion is you want to drive, you want to be a racer, and that's something you want to root for, because it's something like you should be able to chase your dreams and not be held down by family guidelines. Someone who just wants to have a family life and be very much one with his blade. He's not killing people, he's not slashing people left and right, it's just something that he's passionate about and feels like, you know, society is changing a lot faster than he currently is. And you're like, you know what, you're not hurting anyone, I want to root for you too. And a kid who just wants to go to the moon, why don't you want to root for that? Even if realistically he can't do it in his life, I think he can. I mean, we've seen some crazy things already with his talent, but still, it makes you want to root for him. And that's something that I think this show is doing remarkably well and is a big reason why it's standing out in this season of anime, because it feels like it knows what it's doing. It has personality, it has spunk. The characters not only are visually distinct, but their personalities just scream something different, as if they are a person with their own beliefs and desires. And when they do things that make us raise an eyebrow, like, are you really breaking in just to look at vehicles? At the same time, that just feels like who they are as a person. They're not a criminal, they're not a thief, even if I guess technically they are because of what they're doing. It's more of they just want to learn more. And I love how it's not even just him, it's also Jin who literally was breaking in to drive cars. That's amazing. Something I have to give major props to is I thought the direction they were going to go was he was going to very quickly fix the vehicle and she'd get all googly eyes. That's just how I thought it was going to be. But no, it clearly took many hours, if not all night. And by the time she got into work to say, hey, I messed up and, you know, you can fire me, the vehicle was in better shape than when she started driving it. So that's really nice. I like how rather than just playing into the tropes that a lot of shows like this would be known for, just saying, oh, you know, he's super talented, he's a genius, he can fix it in minutes. No, he's a genius, he is smart, but at the same time, you know, this is a new thing to him. He hasn't worked on this exact vehicle, so it'll take him a little bit of tinkering and asking questions to be able to fix it. And that's a really nice mechanic, because it means when they're on the road, when they're in the race, you know, things, when they go wrong, it's not going to be a magic switch that he can just turn on and off and just everything will be okay. Sometimes, maybe, but not always, which even goes back to episode 1 when they were basically stranded in the ocean and couldn't fix their ship, and they obviously would have died had a cruise ship not kind of passed by. It just feels like these characters are ones you want to follow. You're just, at least I know for me, I'm smiling watching the cast of characters unfold because it just feels like they are such opposite personalities. But every step of the way, you have characters like Appare who are just you know, you can go home, you can wait 10 years and do what you want. I'm going to build a vehicle and I'm going to win a bunch of money. It's okay, that's really fun to me. I think that's going to be really interesting because you kind of just feel like they're going to win. Like, that's obviously like the gut reaction. The main characters are going to win. But no matter what, I think they'll probably see their home again. But it'll be interesting to see what it's going to look like because criminals and just family and fiancés, like what's going on. I have a strong feeling characters like Cosme are probably not going to want to marry their fiancé. Once he gets back, he's probably going to fall in love with someone along the way, whether it's a character we just got introduced to or someone else, or maybe he'll just find something else he wants in life. I feel like he's very determined to go back to his predetermined life, but I think as he's on the road, he's going to realize that he wants to make his own life and his own decisions, and maybe he won't even want to go back. Who knows? I mean, Appare only has one character who's really shown any interest and compassion to, which is his sister, so it'll be interesting to see, like, what he wants to do, why he would want to go back. Is he just want to go back to his workshop because he forgot tools? Still, it's like, there's a lot of potential here, and just seeing characters who are just, like, gunslingers and just, like, basically shooting guns off of people's hands. We have characters who are literally scared of guns and are freezing up on the spot, unable to protect. Like, there definitely is a lot of vulnerability in this show, despite it being very comfy and fun, and I think that's what's going to keep a lot of people here in the long run. I'm seeing a lot of people jump aboard being like, I had no expectations going into this show, and it's actually ridiculously fun and full of personality, because it is. I know they dropped the first 2 episodes a lot earlier in the season. I think it was like even before the season, they kind of had like a preview, like similar to how like Netflix or Amazon sometimes has extra previews. But now Funimation has fully caught up and we're able to see all the new episodes together along the way, rather than some people seeing it a lot sooner than some of us. But I mean, the first 2 episodes are great. They definitely set a very high bar that this series is going for. And I think if they continue on the route that they're currently traveling, I think this will be a great show by the time it wraps up. I mean, the characters across the board are just fun to look at, and the longer you hear them talk, they're fun to listen to, even if they have an annoying personality and it feels like they're just trying to hold people down. You need characters like that to make it feel like there is conflict and stakes, and not just you have a smart character who's going to solve everything with the snap of his fingers. I don't have too much more to say past that. I mean, it just felt like a continuation off of last week, and it was really good for that alone, and I can't wait to see where episode 3 is going to take us. But as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Appare-Ranman down in the comment section below. Do you love it? Do you hate your favorite moment? And how excited are you for episode 3? Do let me know. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, share your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.